Hello everyone, Sir Disney here, and this will be one of the last videos I film before I leave for home, obviously on Wednesday morning. So, since it is now the end of November, we are getting into hardcore Oscar talk. As a matter of fact, we just had our nominations for the Film Independent Spirit Awards, which are rather interesting to say the least. Don't know what that means as a precursor, but
as somebody recently said, they didn't really get me into the spirit of independent.
That's funny, whoever came up with that, and I hate puns. So, this is our November video. We're going to talk about the big 8 Oscar categories, obviously, like we have the last several months, and like we're going to continue through the actual award ceremony itself. So, in a couple of months, we're actually going to be getting our Oscar ceremony. It's not that far away, it really isn't. So we're going to start getting into more videos. Like very soon we're going to be doing our Academy Awards videos going to be added to our Golden Globes videos. And we're talking about the SAGs and the BAFTAs. And when the Spirit Awards actually are done, which is what, the day before the Oscars, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Then we're going to be talking about those as well. So a lot of prediction videos and a lot of reaction videos are going to be upcoming to pop in the next several months until we get into the Oscars. That's why we have the Oscar-themed verses. So, like we do every single month, we have taken each and every one of the big 8 categories and we have decided to figure out what our predictions would be. So, if the awards were given out right now, this is what we believe to be the contenders for the awards. So, AJ, I'm going to let you start today. So, we're going to start off with...
First,
we have some housekeeping first. Forgot about that.
Amy Adams is officially going leading for American Hustle.
Which is funny because I predicted that originally.
Her and Bale are going leading, and Lawrence and Cooper are going supporting. That was like confirmed by the studio. The Wolf of Wall Street has been screened.
Yeah, you told me about this. I'll tell everyone else.
The reactions were very positive, apparently. So people are starting to talk about Scorsese and DiCaprio and Jonah Hill. And probably inevitably Terrence Winter.
There's actually one person that you mentioned,
and Margot Robbie.
That's kind of going out. They must really love the movie.
I keep hearing it.
They must really love the movie then that much to nominate that. I'm not saying her performance wouldn't be great, but I mean we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. You've read the book, so you know.
Yeah, about the category placement of The Butler. People were wondering. Apparently, it's been. Did I mention this in another video? I don't think I did.
I don't believe so. I think you just told me this the other day, actually.
Alright. There was some confusion about The Butler being... Not that it's going to do anything there, but... The Butler being submitted in original screenplay, even though it's based on an article. But Danny Strong was talking at the Writers' Roundtable, and it was basically... People got on his case because, number one, Cecil Gaines is not the name of the real guy.
Okay.
And he didn't even, like... A whole portion of the movie is David Oyelowo's story, who is his son. Apparently he didn't... I don't know if it's... He didn't even have a son, apparently, or something like that. And that's, like, totally fictional. So, what he said was he basically just took the idea of a butler going through all these presidents and made a completely original script. And that would explain the inconsistencies of real life and why it's running an original.
Okay. Now it has even less of a chance to get in.
Yeah, but it does make sense.
Yeah, it does, completely. Any date changes? Release dates?
I don't think any were mentioned.
Usually you throw some in every video. That's the reason I was asking if there's any that we know of.
There's one more thing to mention.
Okay.
About Bale. Remember me telling you this?
Yeah.
A rumor surfaced, but nobody knows if there's truth to it or not. Everybody knows David O. Russell's reputation. Google Lily Tomlin and I Heart Huckabees and see that. Or Google the Clooney story from Three Kings. David O. Russell has a bit of a reputation. Apparently there's been a lot of proof that this probably isn't true. But 2 things came out of American Hustle, apparently. Supposedly, Jennifer Lawrence said that she never wanted to work with David O. Russell again. Didn't say why.
Seemed so chummy in Silver Linings Playbook.
And apparently he just had some, like, he was just like honored with some award or something, and she was there being all friendly. So
we'll see.
The other one that sounds a little more possible is that Christian Bale said that he and David O. Russell had a falling out, and that he was going to campaign solely for Out of the Furnace instead of American Hustle.
There goes his Oscar chances.
I don't know if any of that is true. That's just something that's going around.
Yeah, we have to report the rumors here on Pop, so I guess that's what we've got going through. So, just like normally, we're going to go with adapted screenplay this time, since it's on the bottom of my list here. So, AJ, start off with your lineup.
For adapted screenplay, I have August, Captain Phillips, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. I'll talk about what I'm missing in a second.
Okay. You want me to go next?
Oh, you want me to go ahead and talk?
Yeah, normally you do go ahead and talk.
Obviously, Before Midnight and Blue is Warmest Color on here. I'm sure there's probably something else that should be here that isn't. I've basically come to terms with the fact that shit's gonna get snubbed this year.
Yeah?
There's no way around it.
No, there really isn't.
There'll be things that look like they're big contenders this year that don't even get in. And I would have said Philomena is probably the biggest on the chopping block besides Wolf of Wall Street, because we still haven't gotten like a universal acclaim or anything yet until it's released.
We'll see.
We'll be far into the season by the time Wolf of Wall Street even comes out, so we have to still go by what we hear.
Yeah.
I have much more confidence in Before Midnight than Blue is the Warmest Color. It's just that whole theory of there's always a foreign movie in screenplay, because that's pretty much the only place they can get in anymore, besides the foreign category. People are still on their fucking Adele train. But
they can get in animated, too.
Yeah.
That's another place you see foreign movies every once in a while.
I seriously would not be surprised whatsoever if Before Midnight got in as over one of these. I don't really know what to think of August. I just find it hard to believe that they would, if I remember correctly, August is the play that Tracy Letts won the Pulitzer Prize for.
I believe that's correct.
So, I would think his own adaptation of it would be just as award-worthy. So
maybe.
And plus, he's just, he wrote Killer Joe, and obviously I think Killer Joe is one of the best movies of the last 20 years.
Indeed.
So maybe I'm biased, I don't know.
Potentially, but you never know.
He was also on an episode of Seinfeld.
Really?
He was, when Elaine gave the fake number, and she had to go, the horse racing track or something to get in the cart or something. He was the guy working at the track.
That's awesome.
12 Years a Slave, and I'd say, I don't know, maybe Captain Phillips is on the chopping block too, I don't know. 12 Years a Slave and Philomena seem okay. 12 Years a Slave is obviously going to run away with it, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm biased towards Philomena because I want so badly for Steve Coogan to get an Oscar nomination.
Well, okay, I can understand why you'd think that, but I mean, I don't know.
But I'm very uncomfortable not having Before Midnight in there, but at the time I was writing these, I just didn't know what to take out.
Yeah, just like last month, if you guys remember the video from last month, which you probably do, or you may not, who knows. My predictions have completely stayed the same. So I am still running August, and I'm running Captain Phillips. I'm running The Wolf of Wall Street. I am running Before Midnight because I have complete faith in it now, and obviously 12 Years a Slave, so. Okay. I understand why you'd want Coogan to get in, because that'd be awesome, especially after the trip. But, which everyone needs to check out if you haven't seen the trip. Now, I will say right now that even though I wasn't the biggest fan going into Before Midnight, I understand why it's going to get in here. And everybody's saying it's going to get in. So I think that will happen. Philomena, I don't think is getting in. But then again, you do have that, it could be a double nomination for the movie.
You haven't read Philomena's reviews, have you?
I have not. And you haven't talked about them either. So I did not know this.
No, Philomena's doing really well critically. There was one critic. I mean, I know it's a throwaway comment that critics say, but there was one critic that apparently said, I can't remember the exact comment. Philomena was the most something he had ever seen.
Oh boy.
I have ever seen was in the comment, he said.
You never mentioned this, so I didn't know, and obviously I don't read as much into this stuff as you do, so I mean, I kind of just go with what I do read, and that's a couple of sites here and there. And there's no mention of Philomena, so I'm not running it. That may be a mistake.
Not to mention that it just came out this month, like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And Weinstein specifically said he was going to push the shit out of it.
And we know what.
Like it was supposed to have a limited on Christmas, and he bumped it up to November to give it a bigger push.
It'd be nice if we actually get to see the movie soon. That'd be good.
Because November is probably the best place you can be in the award season.
So yeah, that's adapted. So yeah, like I said, mine hasn't changed. AJ's, yours changed very much from last month?
I put Wolf back in.
Yeah.
I took out Before Midnight to do it.
That's interesting. Okay, we're going to do original screenplay. And again, my lineups really haven't changed very much. I changed one movie. I did take out the Dallas Buyers Club. It has now been replaced by Inside Llewyn Davis. I guess I'm kind of flipping them back and forth at this point. Which is funny because later on I replaced an Inside Llewyn Davis movie with something else. So that was interesting. I have Saving Mr. Banks, I have Blue Jasmine, I have Nebraska, and I have American Hustle as the other 4 nominees. I don't have any problem saying any of those 4 are not... I can't say they're locked, but I will say that I can see this being the lineup for the Oscars, honestly. Maybe the 4... I say 4 for sure. The 5th one, like I said, it could go either way with Dallas Buyers Club or Inside Llewyn Davis, or maybe even The Butler at this point. But who knows? So, just what I'm saying.
This category is fucked.
Yeah.
Because you have 5 slots for original screenplay. Correct. There's 11 movies or more that could be here.
Very true.
Like, I feel like you have to, when you're predicting original screenplay, you basically have to base it solely on luck.
Yep.
It's basically a lottery.
Indeed it is.
Unfortunately, I also had to shake hand Dallas Buyers Club.
I didn't want to.
Much to my own dismay.
Yeah.
Because I figured it would do a screenplay and picture with all the hype it was getting, but I think it's just too packed now. However, I have a couple of options here that a lot of people probably disagree with. I have American Hustle, I have Fruitvale, I have Gravity, and then Inside Llewyn Davis in Nebraska. Woody Allen is missing.
Yeah.
I just don't... I just didn't... Okay. I know it seems like the Coen brothers and Woody Allen are the 2 people where you say, if they have a movie in a particular year, you just have to predict them for screenplay. Because they almost always get it.
It's very true.
But, like I was telling you, I told you how many times Woody Allen's been nominated for screenplay. I think it was over 20.
Yeah.
I think.
I believe so.
It might have been like 18 or something.
Close to 20, not over.
Fruitvale. Oh, I didn't finish that thought.
No, you didn't.
Well, Blue Jasmine got really good reviews when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when most people think of Blue Jasmine, their minds go right to Blanchett and nothing else. And I think there are movies that will have better reactions than Blue Jasmine did as a movie that will get in this category instead of it.
Maybe.
I guess I'll talk about Fruitvale.
That's a big question mark around that movie right now.
I've been saying this whole time. I haven't been predicting Fruitvale for anything, but I've been having this really bad feeling. A feeling. It'd be nice if this happened because it's a great movie.
It is an excellent movie.
I kept having this feeling that it was going to be coming back in a big way. like Beasts of the Southern Wild last year. That's
Mhm.
what everybody's go-to comparison, because the breakout Sundance movie always does well. And Beasts of the Southern Wild just came from back out of fucking nowhere and swept up 4 giant nominations last year. I'm thinking it was beloved enough. It has gone off, and Weinstein has a lot of other things to be looking at.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's gone away, but it hasn't disappeared enough to completely be shut out, which to me, I guess, equals a lone screenplay nomination.
A lone nomination of sorts, regardless if it's screenplay or not.
Gravity is apparently a controversial choice because when you have these huge movies that are known for their big budgets and their big effects and their big everything, their big box office, sometimes they tend to get shut out of screenplay completely, like Cameron's movies.
I was getting ready to bring up Avatar, actually.
But then again, you look at movies like Hugo or Life of Pi. Those got in.
Yep.
Inception got in.
Yep. All great choices and worthy choices.
So I think it's totally believable that Gravity would, especially with the great push Gravity has behind it critically.
We don't want to turn this to being a battle. Everyone's saying this is the battle between Gravity and 12 Years a Slave. Mm-hmm. And this is the chance to give it to both of them, if they really want to go that route. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think people have way too much faith in... I'll say right now, people have way too much faith in Gravity. I don't see it winning anything except for Sandra Bullock. I see nominations galore. I see at least 9 nominations for Gravity, if not more.
I assume you mean major nominations.
I'm talking about like Born Awards, stuff like that. Like, I'm talking about the 9 being like...
When you say you don't imagine it winning anything, you mean like the big 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for Sandra Bullock. I think that one's pretty much a lock at this point.
Because visual effects is pretty in the bag, and
yeah, any
cinematography
of
might be too.
The tech awards, definitely, without question. But I'm not saying it's going to win anything major. I think everyone that's thinking it's 12 Years a Slave
because everybody's been talking
Gravity.
Because everybody's been talking about this trend that's been going on, where the movie that wins visual effects wins cinematography.
Yeah.
Because Avatar did it, then Inception did it, then Hugo did it, then Life of Pi did it. Gravity would just fall right in there.
That's true.
So...
I may be wrong on this, honestly, but I mean...
Inside Llewyn Davis and Nebraska are pretty obvious choices, though.
Yeah, definitely. And after reading the script for Saving Mr. Banks, obviously, other than my bias, I love the script, and I think it's going to work really well as a film. I will see it in a couple days, so... I'll see it on Wednesday. So, AJ, we're going to go into your least favorite category, which is Best Supporting Actress.
This involved a lot, too.
Yeah, same here.
I have Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August, Jane Squibb for Nebraska, and Oprah for The Butler. I'd take out Naomi Harris again. Every time I convince myself to put her back in, I change her like a week later. I have no idea what Mandela's going to do, because I keep hearing people are starting to bring up Idris Elba again.
It's too packed right now.
Well, Mandela also just came out this week.
That's true.
So it's going to start getting reactions we haven't heard yet.
Obviously.
But I'd like to put Octavia Spencer back in too, but... and obviously this is my first time putting Julia Roberts in. I took out... She's in Naomi Harris's place. I don't really see where people get the Margot Robbie thing. Maybe she might get one surprise like critic award but I just know that story front to back now, and I don't really see how that character could really. The rest of these all of these speak for themselves. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of who's missing. I was originally going to, when I took out Naomi Harris to put Roberts in, I was initially going to say that American Hustle was going to get double nodded until the news broke that Adams was leading. So, I mean, the Academy picks what category they end up in. It's just a matter of where they're campaigning.
Okay.
Like, they can campaign... This won't happen, but they can campaign Adams in leading, and the Academy can say, fuck you, nominate her in supporting. But because that happens, but...
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen in her case.
Haley Steinfeld comes to mind.
I think they campaigned her in supporting. It's your turn.
I know it is. Okay. I had to do something that I didn't personally want to do, but I understood why it had to be done. Carey Mulligan has been taken out of my lineups.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad. But apparently, from what AJ tells me, that her screen time in the trailer is almost all the screen time she has in the movie. She's not in it very much at all. And that's basically what you told me. So she's been replaced, and she's been replaced by June Squibb. So I'm completely back on the Nebraska train again.
You're late to the June Squibb party.
I'm aware. I understand. People that are... Go ahead.
She's like in it to win it.
I know. Well, speaking of things that I'm not late to, I would say I'm still running Sally Hawkins. I don't think Blue Jasmine's a one-trick pony. I really don't. I think there's going to be a little bit more to it than that until I find out otherwise. And I'm starting to see, just like I said before, there's even more people that are predicting Sally Hawkins in that fifth slot. So it's believable that could possibly happen. So obviously, you know the lineups by now. It's Oprah for The Butler, it's Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, and it's Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave. So there's no question in my mind those three will run, without question. June Squibb is probably the next that's almost a guarantee. That fifth slot could go to nearly anybody at this point. It's like, you don't like this category very much, but sometimes this category becomes really interesting to see who actually gets snubbed and who doesn't. So, like I said, I mean, I bumped out an Inside Llewyn Davis to run something else, so in turn I put in an Inside Llewyn Davis to bump out something else, so it works well for me. So we're going to go into your legitimate favorite category, which is up next, which is Best Supporting Actor, and I'm telling you right now, I hate to do this to you, and I'm sure you're off of it now. There's a train that we both just jumped off of recently. It's the Daniel Bruhl train, which sucks because Rush isn't going to do anything, and that's a shame. Because even tech awards would be great for Rush at this point. I mean, I never thought Ron Howard was going to get in. Obviously, I know you did. But when it comes down to it, Rush should at least be a tech movie. And it's probably going to be completely forgotten by the time the nominations come out. And that's a shame.
They're talking about Lone Survivor is apparently getting really good reviews. So they said any tech nomination, like sound, that Rush was going to get will probably go to Lone Survivor now.
I hope you're wrong. Okay, Best Supporting Actor, my lineups don't really change very much. Like I said, Daniel Bruhl has been taken out, and you know who I'm putting in? Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I'm officially on the Jonah Hill bandwagon. Wolf of Wall Street, I think, is actually going to get a lot of nods itself, and I understand why you don't want to campaign for movies you personally enjoy, because you kind of sometimes think you might be somewhat of a jinx on them, and I understand that, but...
I'm sorry, The Social Network.
Yeah, no
I'm sorry,
lie.
Brokeback.
Yeah. But when it comes down to it, I really think that The Wolf of Wall Street is going to clean up on nominations come Oscar night. I almost guarantee that one. Bradley Cooper I still have in for American Hustle, which I think he's on the chopping block at this point. There is probably a couple more people I could see getting in before him, but as of this moment, I still have him in there. I still have Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. I still have Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. And, of course, I still have Tom Hanks for Saving Mr. Banks, because, obviously, I believe in the double nomination, and you should, too. So, we'll find out very soon what's the deal with all of these movies, because we'll be able to see these movies by the time we do the next video, actually. We should have seen everything that's going to possibly be nominated for Supporting Actor by the time we do the next video. So, that's what I have right now, and I don't know who's going to win at this point. Like I said, everyone... believe in Fassbender, believe in Jared Leto. I mean, they're both pretty easy choices to put all your stake in, but don't put money on them immediately because we don't know yet. We won't know this stuff until we start getting our LA and New York Film Critics Awards next week. We'll start getting people to get legitimate buzz instead of just hearsay from... So, take it away, AJ.
All right. I have a... I'm just going to sit here and stall until the clock goes by. I will say that somebody I had in here that I wanted, that I took, I put them in and then I took them out, was
Okay.
Gandolfini.
I had him in for a split second, and it was like, it didn't even make it to the page. I was like, I'm going to do this, and when I'm typing it, it's like, no, I can't do this.
Like, I wrote him down, and then I just backspaced and put somebody else. And yeah, it's really sad to get off the Brule train, because I was really hoping that he would. Maybe the critics still remember him, and he'll, like, make a comeback.
That'd be nice. We'd have
when those awards happen, but I don't know. I have Barcode Obdi for Captain Phillips.
I almost did.
I have Bradley Cooper for American Hustle. I have Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. I brought back Gyllenhaal for Prisoners.
I know you did.
And Jared Leto. Somebody actually convinced me to put Gyllenhaal in, and he's who I put in place of Gandolfini. Before you ask, it was just some dude online.
Okay. I figured it wasn't anybody that I knew personally, so.
I think my latest theory on Barcode Obdi was that he's going to basically rape the, excuse me if that offends you, he's basically going to win every Breakthrough Actor Award. And I think that will maintain his buzz.
Maybe.
So, because a lot of Critics Awards have Breakthrough Actor.
Yeah.
The Critic Choice Awards have them. I think he should clean those up.
Should. That's the operative word.
I will. I'm not on this Hanks double nomination thing.
I am, obviously.
So, I think I told you this when I changed it. I don't know why I'm saying this, because it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's what my mind told me when I was convincing myself. So it was apparently enough for me. For some reason, I foresee Gyllenhaal's nomination, if Gyllenhaal gets a nomination for Prisoners, it kind of being like Renner's nomination for The Town.
I can see where you're coming from there.
Like I said, I don't even know what that means.
If it makes sense to me, then it must mean
Number
something.
one, because one of those characters is a criminal and the other's a detective.
Very true.
That performance that gets everywhere that has no chance of winning, but is a really great nomination. Maybe that's the connection I'm making.
Maybe.
But yeah, I was recently convinced, so maybe Gyllenhaal probably won't be in here the next time, but he is right now. Maybe the Critics Awards will change that. Hey, I see him doing well with Critics Awards, because Prisoners has got to do something. I keep wanting to put it back in Screenplay, but I always talk myself out of it.
It's adapted, isn't it?
No, it's original.
Really? It seems like a movie that would be based on something.
Yeah, like a crime novel or something.
Yeah.
I guess I'm starting with actress.
Yes, you are.
This is simple. Nothing's changed. Yeah, I still have Blanchett, Bullock, Dench, Streep, and Emma Thompson. Okay. This Adele thing is not happening.
No.
Feel free to call me out on this if it happens, because I'm always cautious because of Cool Ventonay last year. I always laughed at those people.
Yeah.
It's a possibility that Julie Delpy could make a comeback.
Maybe.
Maybe if Amy Adams has a lot of love behind her. But for the most part, I seriously cannot imagine anybody but these five.
Here's the problem. I even have it on the computer. I even have it on here. But as I'm looking over my predictions on camera, I'm going to completely change what I have on here because it makes total sense. Now, truth be told, I went in and did the same exact predictions I did last month, which are yours to a T, with one notable exception. Obviously, I had Amy Adams in instead of Meryl Streep. Well, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, it's Meryl. Meryl plus Oscar equals nomination. That's usually how it works. Not necessarily win, but it usually equals nomination. Well, here's the problem, though. I look at my nominations for August, and I think about it more, and I was like, I really don't have it running for anything. So, I have it a couple of places, but it's not as high as it could be. So, I went back with taking what you said, and I went back to what I originally had, and I always think with your gut instinct, and your first decision should be what you go with. So I'm going to stick with what I had from last month. I had the same exact thing you have, with the exception of I'm taking out Meryl Streep for Amy Adams. So yes, I'm running the same exact 5 you are. Dench, Bullock, Thompson, Blanchett, and Adams. Maybe that'll come back to haunt me. Maybe it won't. We'll find out soon enough, so.
He had a comb-over that was elaborate.
I will say right now that I think that Emma Thompson's real buzz is going to come when she takes all the BAFTAs. I think Saving Mr. Banks, even though it is an American movie, it's going to be
She's not beating Judi Dench.
It's gonna be like battle to the death. Thompson and Dench. It's like if they put the two together in a movie, it's like, oh my god.
There's no way they are not going to give the BAFTA to Dench for filming.
Oh, that's gonna be the battle right there, though. And then Bullock, of course, will be there on the outside looking in.
Philomena is going to leave the BAFTAs dead on the side of the road.
I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about the movie. I don't even know what it's about.
That'll be where Steve Coogan gets in. For supporting actor.
That's fine.
Apparently it's a massive category for all, but that's where he's campaigning.
But don't forget, we also said that about James Franco and Sam Rockwell for the Independent Spirit Awards, and they didn't get nominated at all.
This is the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs are about as predictable as you get as far as their bias.
Yeah, that's
The Independent
true.
Spirit Awards are always unpredictable.
Yeah, we'll talk about that eventually. Okay. Alright. Oh, man. I look at this, and I still don't... You convinced me to do something that I'm still not positive about. Okay, Best Actor. Everything I'm reading pretty much says that Robert Redford is going to get in. And then we have people that are saying that Bruce Dern's going to get in. And your theory is they both can't get in. Well, I did something that I wasn't positive about, given the fact that it seems like the Academy loves to nominate this guy, but they love to watch it blow up in his face. And you know exactly what I'm talking about when I go to this. I actually took Robert Redford out of my lineup for the first time this time around. Which, I'm still not sure. I like the movie, I really do. But I had to take him out this time because I put Leonardo DiCaprio in for The Wolf of Wall Street. Again, it may not be a good idea given the fact that everyone last year said he was going to win supporting actor. Not only did he not get nominated, he got eliminated by somebody from his own movie that took the award. So yeah, DiCap's last chance.
His snub for J. Edgar was a big sign.
That's a big one as well. His last chance. I think he got snubbed for Revolutionary Road myself, but I love that movie, so. But then again, it probably was too, like, down by them.
Richard Jenkins would have gotten his spot.
Yeah, probably. And deservingly so. But, because I love Richard Jenkins. But I will say right now that this is DiCaprio's last chance to make an impression at the Academy Awards. I think if he cannot get in for The Wolf of Wall Street after all this acclaim that we're hearing about the movie, I think that DiCap's probably not going to get another nomination for quite a while.
Oh, he's apparently, from what I've heard from these screenings, apparently he's literally going all out for this role.
I know what you mean by that, and you guys don't, or some of you do, and we're not going to talk about that here on Pop.
Total eclipse.
Yes, not of the heart either. So, Best Actor, I definitely have my lineup is pretty set in stone. I have Bruce Dern for Nebraska, I have Tom Hanks for Captain Phillips, I have Chiwetel for 12 Years a Slave, and I have Matthew McConaughey for the Dallas Buyers Club. So, I don't see a reason to say that most of those won't go to the Oscars. I think most of that's pretty safe to say most of those, honestly, at this point. You have more like faith in Hanks running for Captain Phillips than I do. Because actually, I almost bumped him here to put someone else in. But I know, I understand. But still, I mean, I almost just bumped him to put in Leo and then left Redford in. But I changed my mind at the last minute. So I think McConaughey's in. I think Chiwetel's in. I think Bruce Dern is in. And the last two could go to anybody. Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba. These are all people that could possibly get in.
People are trying to make Oscar Isaac, I think.
Oscar Isaac was someone I had, like, on a short list, but that's as far as it made it. That depends on how much they love the movie.
Alright. Mine?
Go ahead.
Bruce Dern.
Yes.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yes.
Tom Hanks.
Of course.
Matthew McConaughey.
Of course.
I'm not giving up.
I know you're not. He's another person that could possibly get in, and obviously you've called it from day one if that's the case.
I'm still sticking with Forrest Whitaker.
If The Butler does nothing, it could still get into supporting actress and actor.
Makeup and costumes.
Yeah, I forgot the Belly Tech Awards. Yeah, I could definitely still get in there.
People joke about this on the internet constantly, but I'm actually starting to take it as a truth. I think the Academy just does not like Leo anymore.
Why do you think I made that promo at the very beginning of this saying that I'm not sure if he's ever going to get nominated again if he doesn't get nominated?
I almost put him in. I really did. But he's just been burned so many times now. I think it's a sign.
We'll see.
That doesn't change the fact that it'll probably be the best movie of the year, but I'm just thinking
Could
like
be.
them.
Yeah.
I guess I'm starting director.
How appropriate.
Alright. I did make a crucial change here. So I'm going to say
Okay.
Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity. I just recently put in the Coen brothers. Oh shit.
That's funny.
Oh, I fucked up.
He's realized something right before our eyes, folks.
Talk to them while I do. Make sure they're not bored.
Apparently, AJ has made a mistake of some sort, and he's writing down his choice. I guess he may have put the wrong name down, potentially. And yeah. So this will be interesting to see what this race is going to be like, because there's a lot, and I do mean a lot of movies that could get in for Best Director this time around. It's going to be really hard to narrow them down to 5. But in AJ's mind, since
I have.
Bring it on.
I have, and I've always had. I did not change anything just now. Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity. The Coen brothers for Inside Llewyn Davis. Paul Greengrass, Steve McQueen, and Alexander Payne. For Alexander Payne for Nebraska.
Obviously.
The change I just made, I put the Coen brothers in director, but didn't put Inside Llewyn Davis in picture. I had to bump something out to put Inside Llewyn Davis in picture.
That's funny.
Oh, you're gonna love what I bumped out too. I got off the Russell.
Better not.
I got off the Russell train because I forgot to mention something when this video started.
Go ahead.
American Hustle got screened too.
Yeah.
And it got a week early reaction doesn't really matter because Captain Phillips got a week early reaction. And
True.
Obviously that doesn't matter now. But I figured American Hustle, if it was going to make the impact we thought it was initially, it would have gotten the reaction immediately. And the fact that it didn't kind of has me a little... I think I'll like it just fine, but as far as as far as awards prospects, I'm a little worried about it because of that.
Sure didn't know that.
So, but as far as our predictions are concerned, they did call out Cooper and Lawrence as standouts. So I'm a little more comfortable in that. So,
again, my director lineup has not changed. After that David O. Russell news, it makes me almost want to replace him with the Coen brothers. But, no, I'm going with what I have here, so we're going to go with it. Cuarón for Gravity, McQueen for 12 Years a Slave. I'm still sticking to John Lee Hancock for Saving Mr. Banks. I don't care. Payne for Nebraska, and of course Russell for American Hustle. Which I hate that way that goes, because it rhymes. That's annoying.
Say it backwards much to see if people catch it.
Hustle for Russell?
Call American Russell and say David O. Hustle. See if anybody notices.
That one comment that's waiting there to be approved right now before it's even typed. I will say right now that, God, I like Gravity, but get off his junk. Seriously. Honestly, I like Cuarón as a director too. But, I mean, come on, people. I mean, I know it's going to get in. I'm not stupid. But, I mean, everybody is just saying it's got it in the bag. It's just like, just stop. And Steve McQueen, I don't have a problem with this, obviously, because I love 12 Years a Slave. It's an awesome movie, and he definitely deserves the nomination. But it's just like, okay, Alexander Payne, I love The Descendants, I love Sideways. I think he's a great director. Election's a movie that most people forget about. This guy. So, yeah, it's great. It's going to definitely get him in. Russell, like you said, I mean, he could be the one person for the movie that gets snubbed. Just like if John Lee Hancock gets snubbed, he's the only person who's saying Mr.
Scorsese either.
You're right, I didn't. And I wanted to, but I could not put him in yet. I think he'll probably take Russell's spot, actually, strangely enough, when I do these lineups again. I'm not giving up on John Lee Hancock until, like, the wheels fall off. I'm sorry. Saving Mr. Banks, as of this very moment, for people that have seen it, is number 3 in the Best Picture lineup as of this moment. As of this very moment, it's number 3. Right now, it's 12 Years a Slave, it's Gravity, it's Saving Mr. Banks, it's American Hustle. That's the top 4 for everybody. Obviously, it's just like the group of people that have seen it, but that's what the experts are saying are the movies right now. That's the big 4 for Best Picture.
I got a funny answer to a question once. I was on an award message board, obviously.
Okay.
And they were talking about an expert that said something, and I said, so what actually makes an expert? Because it's not that hard to just look at statistics and then guess shit. And the response I got was, what it takes to be an expert is a website and an ego.
That makes us experts, folks. That makes him an expert for sure.
This doesn't count as a website.
Yeah,
like those people that have their own websites.
I don't have the money for us to have our own website.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. We got business cards now, so there you go. So, Best Picture. Okay. AJ is settled on 9 at this point. So,
I guess.
It could be 10. Hopefully it'll be a lot less. So there's a lot more prestige to this. But, Best Picture. The Dallas Buyers Club. The Wolf of Wall Street. Captain Phillips. Saving Mr. Banks. Nebraska. Inside Llewyn Davis. American Hustle. Gravity. And 12 Years a Slave. I am confident in almost everything I just listed. The only thing, for some reason, that I'm worried about in Best Picture is the Dallas Buyers Club.
Are those in any particular order?
No. No. I'm reading what they are. No, they're definitely not in order. No, I just put them in, I just marked them off as I got to them. It could go either way. It really could, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of movies. I didn't list Fruitvale. I didn't list The Butler. There's some things I just can't put in here yet. August I took out to put The Wolf of Wall Street in. And that may be a mistake in the long run as well. I don't know. It depends on how they take to everything as the movies come out. So I'm sure your list is a lot different than mine. So AJ, take it away.
American Hustle. August. The Butler. Captain Phillips. Gravity. Nebraska. What is now Inside Llewyn Davis. 12 Years a Slave and The Wolf of Wall Street. I crossed out Saving Mr. Banks to put.
You not running Saving Mr. Banks is a big mistake.
I actually take it out. I actually crossed it out to put Inside Llewyn Davis in there just now.
No, you put Davis. I read your notes.
Yeah, that's not even a full S.
Davis. That looks like a Z, actually. Like a backward Z. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's probably as big as a mistake as me not running Barkat Abdi for Captain Phillips.
I'm comfortable with it.
I'm telling you right now, and like I said, it's not science or anything, and it's not Moneyball either. But when it comes down to it, I really say that Saving Mr. Banks is going to be the movie that people are going to flock to this year. It has everything. Okay, Saving Mr. Banks this year would be kind of like how Argo was, and how The Artist was, bringing up old Hollywood. In one way or another.
Are you telling me, bringing up Argo and The Artist, that you think Saving Mr. Banks is winning?
I don't know. If I had a gun to my head right now, I've always said American Hustle would win Picture. And I'm not sure at this point.
Well, you're getting ready to take out Russell, so I guess we can kill that.
Maybe. I'm not jumping on the Gravity bandwagon. It's not winning Picture. So the only other option at this point, other than Saving Mr. Banks for me, would have to be 12 Years a Slave. And that seems to be the general consensus right now of everyone saying it.
Consensus since TIFF.
And after seeing the movie, I don't have a problem if it does win. And I'm sure you don't either.
I guess not.
So at least the movie was good.
It's the best movie of the year as of now that's a contender.
I can see that.
Because I have it at number 5 on my top 10 right now, and my 1 through 4 are not contenders.
No. They weren't even contenders for the Spirit Awards.
Number 4 maybe, but
we'll see.
My number 4 is Prisoners.
I knew that.
So, I don't know. It's
the Iceman, Pain and Gain, and Spring Breakers, so. Unless you've changed those.
Did you look me up on IMDb?
No, I just know you too well. Because remember the video we did talking about favorite movies of the half year. I'm sure yours usually doesn't change very much.
Prisoners wasn't on that video, obviously.
No, but I knew Prisoners when you were talking about it. You were talking it up and everything, so I knew that was the case. I will say right now that the Dallas Buyers Club would go either way. It really can. It could get in, or it may not get in. Just kind of depends on how many pictures are actually ran.
We'll have a lot of help by the end of next month.
Yeah, we should have seen everything that we have a chance to see nominated for picture by the end of next month, hopefully. Now, at this moment, we do not have access to Nebraska. We do not have access to Dallas Buyers Club. We do not have access to Inside Llewyn Davis. These are all things we may end up getting soon, hopefully. We'll see the Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle, and Saving Mr. Banks before this video.
God knows about August. August has a limited release on Christmas.
I didn't know what its actual release date was because I've never seen a release date for it.
I think it's limited on Christmas, I think.
So it comes out, we'll probably see it around the award season. Like the literal Academy Awards being given out in February. Most likely. Like the day before, it's like, hey, we're going to Athens because we have to now. So, hey, and their Grand has tickets for like $5 now, so that's pretty over. So that was our opinions for November. And our opinions, just like throughout the last couple of months, they probably will change by the end of next month, to be totally honest. Who knows? We'll see a lot of movies between now and then, so. I do want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and you will join us again next month, the end of December, for our December predictions, which we're going to throw in. I believe animated is going to be thrown in there as well, even though right now it seems like it's just Frozen versus The Wind Rises. And insert token foreign film that's not The Wind Rises.
Ernest and Celestine.
What is it called?
Ernest and I think Celestine is how you say it.
Okay. That'd probably be the three-way battle, if I had to guess. So we'll talk about that next month. And go out while you're at it. Go watch a movie and enjoy yourself. I might get back on the soapbox. It was last month. But I will say right now that enjoy a movie regardless what it is. If it's one of the Oscar-nominated movies that you're not sure if you're going to like, go check it out anyway. What's the worst that could happen? You like it, you don't like it. There's only two ways things could go. So there you go. So awards fans, we will start having some more, and I do mean much more content on this channel talking about all the award ceremonies. We will have videos on the Oscars themselves. We'll have videos on the BAFTAs, on the Golden Globes, on the SAGs. Well, maybe PGA and WGA. It just kind of depends. Maybe just short videos on those. Talk about the Critics' Choice Awards and the Independent Spirit Awards. So we've got a lot of stuff to do in the next couple of months that are themed towards the awards. So if you like these videos, then tell us about them. Leave a comment, do subscribe, and help spread the word. And if you'd like to post these videos on your social media, go right ahead. And until next month, I guess you would say in this case, that's all we got to say about that.